Greetings, Shepherds and Lamsley. This is Dan Stevens with news and notes from around the Presbytery. I've thought for some time that I would probably do a message this week on world mission, and given the events that have happened in the world this week, it seemed odd not to mention those things when talking about the world. And of course I'm talking about today, which is Wednesday when I'm recording this, about the events that happened in Libya and in Egypt around our embassies there, particularly in Libya, where 4 staff members, 4 American citizens were killed there, including our ambassador to Libya. And I know as I've watched this, as I'm sure many of you who watch this have felt similarly, I've been angry and heartbroken and sad about the whole situation. And I think that probably all of us are prayerful for the families of the victims, for our staff members that are still there overseas, for all of our troops that serve in these difficult and challenging environments and their families back home, and for the future between our different countries, and that there would be a peaceful resolution to all this. Now, thinking about this in the context of world mission, I also keep having this phrase bubble back in my mind that I've heard in the presidential campaign over the past several months from both candidates and in past years from other candidates, about the idea that America brings peace through its strength, that we project our force and our might into the world, and through that we prevent attacks on ourselves and we bring peace that way. I think that probably holds true in many cases. Of course, as a Christian person, I always have some real reluctance and some ambivalence about our use of force in the world in any situation. Although I will confess that there have been many situations in the world and that I've seen in world history where I can't really quite figure out another way through it other than through the use of force. So I continue to struggle with those questions, with my beliefs about that, as I'm sure many of you do. But what I'm quite sure about is that world mission provides us with an alternative way to connect with the world that broadens the way that we relate to one another around the world. Through world mission we have these bridges that go to all points of the globe. And sometimes we go across these bridges to other cultures, other countries, and share our faith and share the good news. And other times we cross those bridges to find that the church is already there and flourishing, and we go to learn from it and to gain from their experiences. And still other times people from the places at the end of these bridges come across and come to us, and they share their faith with us, or they come and learn from our churches. And resources and relationships go back and forth over these bridges of world mission all around the world. Through these bridges, these connections of world mission, we come to a sort of peace and understanding, not through strength, but through quite the opposite, through our mutual vulnerability with one another. We become mutually vulnerable. We share our hopes and our fears. We share our losses, our sickness for prayer with one another. We meet one another's families and share meals and worship together. We get to know each other at a human level. We connect as human beings. We go beyond the limitations of culture, national differences, international conflicts, to connect as God's children. Surely Christ invites all of us to see the mutual humanity that we have among all peoples of the globe. And World Mission provides us with unique ways to cross these bridges, to connect with places around the world in a way that hopefully helps to build the foundation of peace through our mutual vulnerability and our shared faith in Christ, the one who became vulnerable for all of us and invites all of us to live into what it means to be truly human, to be the redeemed children of God. May God be with you this week and always.